And now I go across to my segment here, because with me this morning is Jonathan Barcant. He is the co-founder of the I Am movement.
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
All right, good. You're also a civil engineer, among founder of a number of other things that you're involved in, Jonathan. So firstly, tell me a little bit about how you ended up going from being a civil engineer in the mining industry abroad to shifting over to something completely different.
It was a bit of, straight up the only answer is it was a personal life experience. I'm a civil engineer specialized in soils, water, environment.
Right.
Came out of school, got the first job available to me working with my advisor, but it was with a big mining company working internationally. I had a chance to work on some brilliant mining projects, but I also got to see some severe destruction working in Panama. 10,000 acres of virgin rainforest being torn down to build a copper mine, the second biggest copper mine in the world. Oh. So that particular experience is one that really just drove me to question, whether I wanted to stay in that industry and move on to the next big gig, right, or have a change of heart. And it did wind up being a sort of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde decision, which finally
right,
led to me making that decision to leave and commit to environmental conservation.
I see. When the change of heart was in regards to environmental change?
It was with regards to environmental change, and I did not know exactly, or I should say I had no idea at all where my life was going to take me. I hadn't lived back in Trinidad for 7 years. I'd been out of the country for 7 years. And within 1 month of getting back in 2014, the causes hit me one after the other.
Right.
And I realized I actually had a blood pact with Trinidad I didn't know about. And yeah, I guess it all began from there. I founded a small green engineering business and wound up co-founding an NGO with a number of young people,
right,
which has now become one of the leading civil society voices on climate change. Specifically, though, focusing on the economic opportunities available to Trinidad through energy efficiency and renewable energies.
Right. And that's where the Rethink Energy video series came into play.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
5 years later, or 4 years later.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that.
So that really stemmed off of 4 years of growth. We hosted the People's Climate Marches in Port of Spain in 2014 and 15 during key UN summits in New York and Paris. A member of our team directed and created a beautiful short film in 2016, which we took to 40 schools across the country. Wow. in a program called Climate Talk last year. And it was a big success. And so this year, when we approached NGC, National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and shared the vision for taking the conversation forward. And the reason we did that is because we recognized we were saying the same thing as them. They agreed to join us again for Climate Talk 2018, okay, which included the production of a video series, Rethinking Energy. And the reason we chose to do this is because from day one, and I think that the reason that people have been really interested in this conversation from day one, is while climate change is a big thing internationally, it's a big global thing, we don't know, it's very hard to deal with on a small scale. Right. When you're speaking about a small country, like what difference could little us possibly make? But from day one, therefore, what we've been speaking to is the economic opportunities, the amazing economic opportunities available to Trinidad and Tobago. If we invest in energy efficiency and renewable energies for our local consumption, right, it doesn't mean stop drilling oil, stop getting gas, etc. It simply means we reduce our local consumption through just energy conservation, right, as well as renewable energies, which relieves gas supplies. We know we have a gas shortage right now. And that gas, which is very valuable, because we're facing that shortage, could instead be channeled to other valuable areas, such as the Point East Industrial Estate, where it can be used to create other petrochemicals, ammonia, steel, etc. We saw last year as well as this year, the risks of plants closing down because there was not enough gas, and that led to, really potential for hundreds of jobs being lost. Right. So it really presents amazing economic and social opportunities, and that's an argument that everyone in Trinidad and Tobago can relate to beyond a global climate change situation.
Yeah, and where did you get the facts or the content to put in these videos?
It was a very rigorous and close working process over the last year and a half, working most closely with NGC, but also getting direct invaluable contribution from the Energy Chamber, key technical members, including members from BP, from PowerGen, that conducted excellent studies, which were presented in the Clean Energy Conference last year. Right. So the big numbers you see in video 1 came almost all directly from the Energy Chamber. In video 2, it came through public documents, all public documents available through the RIC, the Regulatory Industries Commission, as well as TNTech. And then in video 3, they came from PowerGen, public PowerGen information, right, by PowerGen officials as well as PowerGen engineers. So
I see it's very important to get the factual information from credible sources.
Absolutely.
To ensure you put them so that nobody's misled.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this, as you said, a lot of the information, you said that they were public, so the public actually has access to this information.
Yeah, it's completely public. You know, some of them, like the RIC, for example, they regularly always post their information on their Facebook page. But of course, when you see a big document get posted on Facebook, you know, who's going to read that?
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. Yeah,
So
and our thing nowadays, people hate reading.
Yeah.
And we like things fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the whole point of that was this is really information which was shared. The first time last year when some of that big information in video one was shared, there was 200 people in a room at Lockjack for
Right.
the first Clean Energy Conference. And these are all people working in the energy space. Probably 10% of them knew that information.
Really?
Yeah. And it's just because it's big kind of information that you won't know unless you're directly studying it, but it's still public and available. So it was just shocking that the whole room there got to benefit from that, but we recognize that this is public information. Why shouldn't all of Trinidad and Tobago understand this?
That's right.
And so that's where the vision came from, to decide, you know, that we really have to make this into bite-sized, digestible form in the form of these short renewable energy infographics. Not renewable energy, energy efficiency and renewable energy, because that's a big part of the conversation.
And where would people be able to see these videos?
They're all being posted on I Am Movement as well as NGC Facebook pages.
Okay.
So that's I Am Movement, all one word, and then of course NGC, Instagram as well. But since they're 5-minute videos, Facebook is better to watch.
Right.
We've posted video one at the beginning of this week. It's already gotten 200 shares, over 10,000 views, etc. Really, really good conversation. If you go to the comments, just general feedback is, thank you so much for making this information available, etc., etc.
Yes, and again, in a digestible way,
Yeah.
as you said.
So you can tell that people really do want to be part of this conversation.
Right.
Even if energy is not their particular field of study, energy is what Trinidad and Tobago comes from. It's our
That's right.
lifeline, it's our foundation. So it's really a conversation for everyone, you know? So the idea is really just to make the information available to anyone who would like to get access to it.
All right, well, I definitely have to check out that Facebook
Yeah,
page,
you
check out
should.
all the videos, and here we have the information on our screen right now, which is really good.
So this is actually referring to the launch event, which took place yesterday.
Okay.
This took place at the Central Bank Auditorium in partnership with NGC.
All right.
It was very well attended, with the Ministry of Energy attending as well, delivering opening remarks, joining in the panel discussion.
Sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan. With me this morning is Jonathan Barcant. Sorry, Barca is French. And we were speaking about rethinking energy. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Jonathan.
Cheers, Carrie. Thank you.